Whalar, Adweek's 2022 Creator Agency of the Year.
What is the creator economy and why should you care? And did you know that just about anyone or any animal can be a creator? It's true, and this Pet Appreciation Week episode of the Everything is Better with Creators podcast, we're putting the spotlight on two special canine creators, Hammy and Olivia. During the pandemic, these adorable corgi pups started making family-friendly videos that also feature their owners, Chris and Sarah. And what's their goal? To make joyful content, especially for children. The pair now have 4 million followers across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and a deal with their favorite pet food brand, The Farmer's Dog. To see how it all came together, we'll be talking to their dog dad, Chris, who will help us navigate the dog doesn't always eat dog world of animal creators. Go ahead and hit him with that intro.
Everything is Better with Creators, the podcast that takes a deep dive into all things creator economy. Produced and presented by Whalar. Whalar, we power the creator economy. With your hosts Ashley Rudder, Emma Harmon, Jamie Goodfriend, and Marco Bertozzi.
I am the creator. And this is fresh.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Everything is Better with Creators. I'm Ashley Rudder, your guide to all things happening in the creator economy. Every week, myself or my colleagues, Jamie Goodfriend, Emma Harmon, or Marco Bertozzi, will be hosting this podcast. Coming up, we're getting right into this episode with our big interview with the man behind the viral sensation Hammy and Olivia, Chris Equale. Just a reminder that Everything is Better with Creators is brought to you by Whalar. The Whalar Way combines tech, talent, and creative social strategy to match brands with creators to produce authentic content that people really want to see. Whalar is democratizing the creative process for brands and creators by empowering a global talent network of thousands of influencers, tastemakers, creatives, and storytellers to connect you to your target audience, making advertising more inclusive, diverse, and effective. Check out more at Whalar. That's WHALAR.com.
And now it's time to bring up the headliner of the evening. Very special. Please welcome to the stage
The Big Interview. Everything is Better with Creators.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Chris. Welcome to Everything is Better with Creators. How are you?
I'm great, Ashley. Thanks so much for having me. I mean, wow, Tuesday morning, we just get to get after it.
I'm telling you, that's how we do it at Whalar. We go hard as soon as the sun peeks over the mountains. Here we go. Oh, it's okay. I was saying that. I was like, yeah, at Whalar we go hard as soon as the sun hits the landscape. We're at it. We're getting at it. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no, it's so fun to be able to step away from having to talk to my dogs and actually talk with human beings. So any moment I have to do that is I relish. So thank you for distracting me for however long we get to have each other for.
Tell me about the origin story of this, Chris. What in the world? Pandemic, pups. How did this happen?
It's really just like the wildest phenomena. So I call myself a recovering tech executive. For 8 years prior to the coronavirus pandemic, I actually would fly to California to work on Monday and then fly home to Las Vegas on Friday to spend the weekend here with Sarah and Hammy and Olivia. So I only would see them 2 days a week. I would only see Sarah 2 days a week. So I can actually tell you the exact date. It was March 16th, 2020. When I took my 387th flight home to Las Vegas, and then I didn't get on an airplane the following morning because the world shut down. And I know I'm not alone with this. I know there's a lot of creators that have sort of come from this, the trials and tribulations of a global pandemic. But I mean, this was when you couldn't find toilet paper or paper towels on the shelves. It was like pure chaos, pure like insanity. And I had a whole week to myself at home for the first time in 8 years. And I was losing my mind, Ashley. And I had this random moment and I saw my dog Olivia, and she was laying next to the vacuum cleaner and essentially just giving it some sass. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna film this because this is hilarious. And I did some lip dubbing and just thought like, how would a dog respond to a vacuum cleaner? And I posted it to TikTok strictly for their editing features. I didn't know. I think anyone that downloaded TikTok back then was just doing it for a joke, just to see what the fuss was all about, and didn't really take it too seriously. And then posting that video, Ashley, I went outside. I was having a happy hour drink with Sarah on our balcony, and my phone just kept vibrating. And I looked at her and I was like, something's happening right now. Like I don't know what's going on, but something's happening. And in 20 minutes, the video had 250,000 views. And it was at that moment that I looked at her and I said, you know, something like people need this. Like this is something that we can do. And I think just a quick smile every single day can help get people through this. So that started everything.
That's incredible. You want to talk about, perfect timing and, getting a aha moment like at just the right time. Like that's wild. And I'm even just thinking the fact that you were only there on the weekends, and so now you're with Sarah, with Olivia 24/7, and it just turned out so beautifully. Like that's really incredible.
It's really crazy to think about because not only do I work with my dogs now, but they're also my dogs. Like this is my home, this is my family. So it truly is a 24-hour a day set of circumstances with them. If I'm not shooting content with them and producing with them, we are going for walks, we're eating food, we are playing, we are giving them enrichment training.
Mhm.
It's 24/7. So it really has been such a crash course because we didn't ease into this. It was a flip of the switch in a moment's notice.
I have to commend you on this journey and the commitment that it takes to get a precious fur baby to work on content. Like, what in the world? How in the world did you figure out that Olivia and Hammy were going to be amazing actors?
Oh my gosh. So it's so funny because Hammy and Olivia are extraordinarily treat motivated. And we learned very quickly we could get them to essentially do anything so long as the reward was worth the proper task. And it started with just sit and stay, and it evolved from there. And I'm not a professional dog trainer by any degree. And I think when people comment and direct message us on the various platforms, they I think ask for advice through the lens of like if I were a professional dog trainer. And I think what's so magical about it is that I'm as relatable to really anybody with a pet. I'm just a redhead with a cell phone that loves my dogs. And it just turned out that way, that just getting them to do little things at a time, and just over the course of a week, and they don't forget. Dogs are very smart. And I think what's been so cool, Ashley, is that doing a video now with them 2 years later is totally different than doing a video with them 2 years ago as they were trying to figure this out. So they have become quite little professionals in how they operate and how they do it. And I think it's just making sure that you're giving the proper amount of time and dedication to just what it is you're trying to get out of them. And trust me, like a dog wants nothing more than to make you feel satisfied in that adventure and to try to make sure that that they are impressing you. So I think that's where the two-way street nature of it comes out really well.
I think that's just the general nature of being a content creator. And like every day it gets better, and just don't stop. Because like you said, that now that you're looking back 2 years ago, I'm glad that you're acknowledging how much growth has happened, even though we probably are sure like it's obvious that happens. But man, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable actually when you think and through a 2-year window here. I mean, we've done now over 700 videos. And when you think about sort of the rise of short form, like 15-second, 30-second videos, like it's not too much. If I'm a makeup influencer, which no one needs that. I've learned early on that no, I learned early on I have a face for radio. But I think one of the things that's so interesting is just working with animals is very difficult. And people tell me the cliche all the time, like, how did you do it? You should never work with animals or children. And the thing is, like, they want to they are sort of the professionals at this. I'm just the one holding the camera, and a 15-second video from us takes 5 hours to make. So every single day, a 5-hour production process just to give you that 15-second of serotonin, and you swipe to the next video for somebody else. Like, that was it. That was our moment. So we try to make the most out of any time we can get your attention.
So let's talk about it. Like you said, 15 seconds or not, these are full on productions. How do you go about the brainstorming process and what inspires you? And of course, we would love it if you could share anything that goes on behind the scenes that no one would ever know about.
Yes. So it's really a full day. So typically I wake up, I feed the dogs, take them for their morning walk, and then they go down for their nap. And then that's the moment when they're resting that I have to do scripting. The process is so much more streamlined if I can script out the process. So I'm a fan of The Office. I think, I know I'm not alone there. I know millions love The Office. But I also love what I grew up on, which was Rugrats, Doug, Rocco's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, some of the old age Nickelodeons. Hopefully, I'm not dating myself too much, but oh yeah, great stuff. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, but yeah, so I love to figure out, how to introduce a problem, inject sort of their crystallized personalities into this said problem, and then find a resolution and inject some humor into it. And really, you only have 15 seconds to really do that in this day and age. So you got to make content come full circle, which is its own fun little challenge. So I'll shoot with them for about now 90 minutes to 2 hours a day. We don't go much longer than that. They would like to, because they're getting treats the entire time. So behind the scenes, whenever we're ready to go, we converted the third bedroom in our house to be Olivia's closet room. I kid you not.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's got a full wardrobe room. I love it.
Full wardrobe room. It's got custom shelving. It has 100 different outfits, 100 different outfits, 100 different headpieces, bows, accessories. We figured out quickly that we got out of all of the potential dog costume options for her. So now she's a 3-year-old toddler girl at Walmart and Target. So that's how we've expanded the wardrobe. So then we'll shoot with them. And once that's all canned, I use a mobile editor called Splice, and that it's just yeah, it's fantastic. I string everything together, and then my quote unquote voiceover chamber, or my sound studio, is one of our closets. And I literally go in there and I'll do Hammy's yeah and Olivia's high pitch. It's a little early for Olivia's high pitch, but and that's sort of where we make them come to life and score it to music. And there you go. The next morning it's posted at 7 a.m. on all the platforms.
I'm so done. So you really are cranking it out every day. It's not like you're doing it in batches. It sounds like this is definitely a one asset a day production schedule.
Yeah. And what's so funny, Ashley, is I love it and they love it. And I think we get asked that question a lot. Like, do they like wearing the clothes? Do they like doing this? It's like, no, we love this. And I think
you could tell they love it. I'm sorry. They are definitely living their best life. You can tell.
Yeah. So they love it. They're getting treats all day long. They're pampered all day long. They spend all day with their humans. There's so many humans that have to go out and do, work in the grind and don't get to spend all day with their pets. And, we're blessed to do that. But beyond that, we really feel like we have a social responsibility to put out a video every day. We've received countless direct messages from individuals that struggle with depression, individuals that just are getting bullied at school, individuals that it's just, I mean, you name it, and they lean on us for just that daily laugh and just to realize the world's a silly place, and we're all for that. So I think, yeah, we really feel that it's we have a responsibility to put a video out every day because people rely on it.
You know what, when you have purpose behind your passion, it just lets you tap into this endless source of energy and endless source of inspiration and drive. And again, like the dedication that goes into that, my hat goes off to you. As a marketer, I would love to talk to you about your audience because, this is some wholesome, precious, hilarious stuff. So like, who all is watching you all?
Yeah, and it's loaded with a ton of eye rolls too. We're very self-aware. We have very dad jokey humor at times, so we'll take the eye rolls. But everyone, it's so interesting. All of the insights that the platforms feed us, it's pretty universally the same. About 85% of our audience are between the ages of 18 to 55, which is very, very cool. It's a huge spread, but we always feel like that at the end of the day, it's the kids that are watching it and that it's the parents putting it on for their kids. And whenever we're walking the dogs, that's always the feedback we receive. It's like, oh, I have to put you guys on every single morning to show our kids before school. They won't go to school without seeing Hammy and Olivia. And I love it. Like I love it because that's who we're doing this for. And I always joke with Sarah that I'm a big fan of sort of the modern Pixar movies, right? Because they're family oriented, where you bring the kids and it's for the kids take you there, but they're filled with jokes that the adults get. And I think that's sort of where I really enjoy peppering that in so that, everyone of all ages can enjoy this to some degree.
So good, so good. I mean, I'm just imagining all of the different opportunities that come your way because of that audience. And so tell me about that. Like, what have been some of your experiences working with brands?
Wow, brands have been a lot of fun. As a full-time creator, they are lifeblood. And I don't think audiences or followers or viewers across the board truly understand that. And we love it. I mean, we've worked with Fortune 500 brands, we've worked with mom and pop shops. And I think when it really comes down to it, we put on a show. We put on 5, 6, 7 pieces of content every single week. And every now and then, just like you would go to the theater, you'd watch your favorite program on television, like you're due for a commercial break. And I think so long as we continue to keep a healthy balance, like injecting branded content into our platforms is totally forgivable. And, we make it fun. Like we put a very organic spin on branded content. So when we work with brands, I love whenever they bring up the word influencer. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's my favorite thing in the world because I tell them right off the bat, if you want an influencer, you're not going to work with us. And it always,
Right. That's when you know that that's a hard stop. You're like, this isn't going
it
to be the
always
brand for
catches
us.
them so off guard, Ashley. Like they always get like they give me the squint. They're like, okay, and I'm like, no, we're content creators, and the reason you work with us
Yes.
is because we have the ability to understand your product and service. We can digest it, we can internalize it, and we can figure out the best way to put it on display to our audience that will adopt it appropriately. And that's our job when we work with brands. And I think brands really tend to appreciate that. And they really love the content at the end of the day because they know it's going to be a very organic, fun, humorous way of doing that. One of our favorite partners is a floor care company. And when you work with dogs in floor care, they always want the dogs to be happy with the vacuums. And
We all know that's
this
not real.
one brand, yeah, and like it's like who's gonna believe that?
That's
And this
like the
one
vacuum's
brand,
the arch nemesis of all dogs, like most of the
oh
time.
yeah,
So
there's no greater villain in the world of a dog. And so this brand was so fantastic. They were like, no, we want Hammy and Olivia to be terrified of them. We think it would be hysterical if there was this constant Marvel cinematic universe of the dogs always battling the vacuum cleaners. And it has turned into the most fruitful, fun, lucrative partnership that we've done to date because of the organic nature of them letting us do what we do while also making sure that we're going to cover their bases and what they need delivered. And I think that's the way to make brand partnerships the most harmonious.
Oh my gosh, like if that isn't a testimonial to liberating the creative voice, I don't know what is. Tell me more about your community and how you do manage all of that, because there's such an attachment there, and the fact that you are so accessible. Tell me, how do you manage all of that, and what is that relationship like?
It's a lot. I got two thumbs. I got two thumbs, and we got 7.5 million people that follow us across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. So it's a lot, and I hope if our audience is listening to this, that they know that they're not being ignored, they're not being neglected. It's just there's only so much time in a day, and I know that the number one priority is that they get to see Hammy and Olivia do what they do. And I know that's going to be more important to them sometimes than us responding to a "Hey, how are you?" direct message, right? That said, I have to allocate time to engage with our community because, Ashley, they're some of the best producers for us. They have the best ideas. They know our dogs almost as well as us at this point. And they're like, it would be so funny if Olivia got asked to prom. I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. Like, we're
I
going to
love
make that
that.
tomorrow. And I think it's great, and we'll tag them in the video sometimes when it's their idea, and it gives them this sense of inclusiveness in our brand. And I think that makes just community building all the more powerful. And
Mhm.
we're blessed because we talk to a lot of creators that have to sift through 80-20. It's 80% positivity, but they get 20% hate, and they get 20% trolls, and we really don't have a lot of that. And I think at the end of the day, it's hard to be negative to two cute dogs just trying to enjoy their day. So, um,
Totally.
but yeah, no, we love our community, and I try to spend as much time as I can when I'm not editing, responding to direct messages and comments. But we get as active as we can. I mean, that's all of this is due to them.
So good. So good. I'm loving all of this. This is, again, like you said, the commitment to the content is paramount. But like I said, it's such a delicate balance. And I think that you guys do such a fantastic job with that. Oh my gosh. Well, this has been absolutely incredible, Chris. If there's any gems that you've got left in the cupboard, is there any words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience, from a creator perspective or a brand perspective?
Oh man, dive in. You got to dive in. I mean, I didn't grow up, but like I used to watch content creators, and it all started on YouTube, the rise of the creator. And I just knew it felt like such an intimidating process. You got to have the nice cameras, and you got to have the nice microphones, and you got to have the right editing software and the lighting. And it just felt like something that there was so much barrier to entry to be able to do. And nowadays we can all do this on a cell phone. If you have an iPhone or an Android in your pocket and you got 20 minutes on your hands, you're a content creator. You just need to figure out what it is that's interesting for you, because I promise you the platforms now, they're going to find the audience that's going that should be fed to you. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, that doesn't matter what you're into, there's an audience for you. And that's the beauty of algorithms now, and how these platforms are getting your content in front of the proper eyeballs.
All right, guys. Oh my gosh, Chris, that was so great. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course.
We hope you enjoyed what you've heard and will come along with us as we navigate this journey to the promised land of the creator economy. Make sure to subscribe or follow our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you like to listen to audio. And of course, we'd love a rating and review if you get the chance. Sending all the love and appreciation to Hammy and Olivia's dog dad, Chris, for joining us. Make sure to check out more from Whalar and all things at the intersection of a talent network, brand partnerships, technology, and creativity at Whalar.com. And join our community by following us on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. For Everything is Better with Creators, I'm Ashley Rudder. We'll catch you next time.
You see, I am the creator.
Everything is Better with Creators is produced by Whalar. Whalar, we power the creator economy. Learn more at whalar.com.
Whalar, Adweek's 2022 Creator Agency of the Year.